I Train Your Dragon 3. What's going on, moviegoers all over the world? My name is Ryan D, aka Ryan680.
One at Cloud X, right?
And this is Alamo City Movie Talk, guys. We've been a little, I guess you could say, just chilled out right now. We haven't really put out too much right now.
Off-season.
Yeah, the off-season.
Off-season for movies, too, though.
Yeah, because everyone's getting ready for the Oscar season right now. So, but there's a little hidden gem in this. And we're not talking about from Infinity War, guys. We're talking about from DreamWorks, a hidden gem. This is our review. Juan, get us started. What are we reviewing today?
How to Train Your Dragon, The Lost World?
The Hidden World. There you go.
Not the Jurassic Park.
I know, Jurassic Park, guys. All right. Yeah, you could have dragons and dinosaurs at the same time, can't you?
The Hidden World, yeah.
And what Hidden World are we going to? Game of Thrones. That's it, right?
Winter. The movie, you saw it?
All right, let's get started, man. I mean, Cloud, what did you think of it, man? I mean, right off the bat, coming from the sequels.
I surprisingly liked it.
Oh, okay.
I liked it a lot, surprisingly.
Okay.
It being DreamWorks, I think it's one of DreamWorks' strongest films.
Ever, I would say.
Ever. I think it is their strongest.
Ever strongest films.
See, yeah, there's not a DreamWorks movie I could think that's compared with this one. The first one was amazing. When it came out, the first one, I loved it.
Okay.
Second one was very less memorable. The second one, it's kind of lackluster for me compared to the first one.
Really? Okay. All right.
But this one, man, it had so many. It went the right direction.
Yeah.
The story in the beginning felt a little rushed, but overall had a good message, good comedy. It was evenly paced with action, comedy, seriousness. It was a really good movie.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to disagree with you on the second one though, because I felt like the second one really shed some light into sacrifice and everything. Obviously, spoiler alert, with the father and everything. But overall, I felt like it really, if you were gonna
out of the three, which one?
Out of the three, it's probably gonna. Man, it's hard, man, because they all have their.
You have to put them in order. Which one?
Oh, the first one and the third one and the second one.
It's the weakest one. It's the weakest one.
Okay,
it's not as strong, but the second one wasn't weak.
Yeah,
it wasn't
weak,
a boss baby.
Yeah.
But again, this one toppled that one like crazy.
So going into this, I mean, right after this with the sequel, when they did first announce this movie, they did say this was going to be the last of it. This is the last of the franchise, trilogy. They ended on a high note, and my God, they ended it on a high note. Like, wow. I mean, so the story of this, actually, I love the story so much. Like, it's so compelling. It's so rich when it comes to the emotions around this. I mean, if you know me, guys, I'll say it again and time again. When you see our review, guys, I always love movies. I always love franchise movies, history movies, Freddy Krueger. I mean, just Nightmare on Elm Street when they start figuring out the connection.
Especially when it's these movies, it's the same characters.
Yeah, exactly. And that was them. And that was the beauty of it. When we first go into this movie, it's I didn't feel like it was rushed. I felt like the characters all came in at the same, like they all came in at the same time.
It just felt fast pacing. Okay, everything was happening at first.
Well, yeah, because it almost
the movie was short too.
Yeah,
it was only less than an hour and 30 minutes.
Yeah, which I felt like was necessary.
I think they could have added 10, 15 minutes in the beginning, kind of.
Well, I wanted something different. The story because every time the movie he starts, which I felt like was very different in this one. Every time the movie starts, he's usually narrating, which I didn't want. I was all like, okay, let's do something different. And they did. I kind of liked this a little bit differently. Because it was almost a different formula, but it was using the same formula, except it not narrating in the beginning, which I did like. He wasn't narrating it. This is like, okay, this is it. We're putting all of our eggs in one basket, and here it goes. We're going all out. And that's what I felt like out of this movie. The story-wise was done very well. I felt like the animation on this was phenomenal. I mean, dude, the hair.
You get the close-up on Hiccup. He has like little fuzz.
Dude, I know. Yeah, it's so detailed. And I'm just like, I don't have a fuzz. You probably have a fuzz more than I do. But you could just watch our hair, like facial.
Oh, because you see the other characters, they grew facial hair. Some of them grew facial hair. Some of them they matured.
And I love history. I love history movies. I mean, even just with Hiccup's father. I mean, just everything. Just they do flashback scenes to where Hiccup's dad, when Hiccup's very little, and it's just so much compassion right there. It's so much heartwarming, almost to a Toy Story level, and that says a lot. I mean, almost to a Toy Story level. And being DreamWorks, what it is.
We didn't get that with Trek. We didn't get that with Madagascar.
I didn't get that with Boss Baby either. Oh no. So. Yeah, so with that being said, so Berk, the city of dragons, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, Berk was. I mean, I loved how they constructed. It was very creative in a way to where like where we left off part 2, and we see Berg into like this this world to where like dragons are trying to live among us, trying to live with us, but then it just goes catastrophe all over again, and they reach a new obstacle, ladies and gentlemen, and this becomes even more heartwarming, more heartbreaking, and all this.
The story itself was kind of not surprising, but it was interesting because we don't get it from the trailer at all.
Yeah,
all we get from the trailer is there's a light fury, and that's it.
Which I love though, because it didn't give so much.
Yeah, so going into it, we don't know.
Yeah,
that's why I feel like it felt rushed. As soon as it starts to get the first scene, right after that they go back to the village. That guy tells them this is gonna happen. The next scene, the villain's already in there, and that's what's happening. And I'm like, you could have paced it. For me, it felt you could have paced this a little bit better. But it was mysterious. Like the antagonist was very interesting.
And I loved it too because usually when they try to do perfect example, when they were trying to do whenever Han from Fast and Furious, whenever it had pretty much they were trying to rewrite the past to make it make sense for the future, and that's what they did with this one because
it made sense.
It made sense. It made way more sense. Way more logic in here. Logic in here is very amazing, amusing. I mean, I was laughing, crying. I mean, I cried at the very end, but we'll mention at the end a little bit. But yeah, this wow, it was just the story wise and the climax of the movie was actually not bad for being a third movie. I mean, the Hidden World. I mean, whatever you want to say. I mean, this is a third movie, and for a franchise to do this, to go from the first How to Train Your Dragon. I mean, it's just all that emotions, all that history that you felt like watching the first one, the second one, then now watching this. I felt like it was right where it needed to be. It was a very great story. When you watch it all three movies together, it's going to be a great story to watch back to back to back, and it's going to be a great heartwarming story for it.
Speaking on the climax, this one I think had the best climax, and it had a build up. It
had build. Yep.
It had intense action scenes getting into it. It had that suspense leading to it. Because the first one, the climax was they find that giant dragon. Yeah. And it's over like in 5 minutes. Like that's the climax of the movie, and that's all the action we get in the first movie.
Yeah, but
this one had steady pacing of action, and the climax was the most climactic
I felt like the more higher number, the more action we got out of it, and that's and that's what I felt like, and that's what I think the direction they were going to as well. Another high note I want to say. I mean, the Light Fury. That was a pretty good little nod. I was like, oh, okay. Like it just I loved how they treated them. They were almost like cats, man. It was weird. I don't know how to like. It was like a cat because they were purring.
Like they were used cats as references.
Yeah, like they were purring a lot. It was funny. I just love that so much because you get that cuteness out of them and you get that natural already, like that natural pet. Because I mean, let's be honest. I mean, they were pets to them, you know. Yeah. And so great stuff for that. Also, I did love how new obstacles emerged and just part of becoming an adult. And I loved it so much. I loved how Hiccup was growing up. This is it, man. I mean, we watched him become a child. I mean, act like a child, and then for him to become a teenager, and then for him to become, it's time to become an adult, time to become Chief Hiccup, time to do my duties that I need to do. And that's what exactly we got out of here, guys.
Something one I couldn't do.
Yeah, so I also did want to say, though, there was a quote that stuck out to me. There's no greater gift than love, which I felt like was Hiccup's dad's advice to him.
Spoilers.
Yeah, spoiler. Oh, yeah, spoiler. But so much story, so much history, and the character development here was phenomenal. I felt like the character development on Hiccup was just, wow, amazing on all the characters. I mean, the only one I felt like was lacking was the villain. But I felt like he was just an obstacle course. Like I didn't want a backstory for him. I was all like, oh, don't show us to where like he kills or like I mean, I don't mind mentioning spoilers, but don't go back to where like when he was a kid. Exactly.
We didn't need that. He was an antagonist, and that's all he was.
And that's the good thing because I felt like everyone was on page for this movie. I felt like everyone was on page. Hey, we're gonna do this story. We're gonna end it on a high note, and that's it. And this is
they introduce him. They say what he is and what he's done. And
perfect way.
That's all they need to do.
Exactly. Perfect way to show us a new character. Animation on point. Could you say anything else is there anything else that you think that we needed?
No, I think the humor could have been. It was funny. It was. Yeah. Some of it was really cheesy. I think too cheesy. I could have done without that humor. So I don't think it needed anything. I think it could have done without some of that.
Okay. All right.
But overall, I think it was still really good.
Usually because with the runtime here, usually I want a movie to be longer, but for this being a third movie, I felt like it was the right runtime ever.
I thought it was short.
Okay, I felt like it was the right runtime really because you don't want to. you don't want to make it too long. I mean, you don't want to make it as long as the I just don't feel like it would have been as entertaining if it was an extra 30 minutes or 20 minutes.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah, you got to tell the story how it is and end it, because otherwise it'll be like, oh man, okay, this is going, and then we'll extend runtime. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna say this perfect. I mean, I feel like they didn't need anything. I mean, I really did. Besides the cheesy jokes, I didn't laugh as hard as I would have. But then again, it was a serious story. It was a serious, strong story. The story alone was strong. Like, wow, I've never seen this in animation besides Toy Story or like Moana. I mean, besides Disney.
This is the Toy Story of
for DreamWorks. Yeah, for DreamWorks.
This is their best work, honestly.
Yeah, for their best work. Was this the fun that we deserved?
Yes, this is the fun we very much deserved. Nice. Now, closing.
Let's go to the ratings, man. Okay, ratings 1 out of 10. Cloud, what do you say?
I'm gonna have to give it an 8.
An 8?
Yes.
Surprisingly, I'm actually, for the first time in a while, I'm actually gonna be higher than y'all. I'm gonna be a 9. I'm gonna stick to my guns. I'm gonna stay at 9.
I would give it a 10, but again, the cheesy, like some of them were really cheesy, and it was just.
You would recommend this movie though, right?
I highly recommend.
Okay, yeah, we highly recommend, guys. Alamo City Movie Talk, yeah. Be sure to check it out, guys, in theaters near you. Any theater out there, Santikos, Alamo Draft House, Regal Cinemas.
Cinemark.
You know we have Cinemark. Or Cinemark. I'm definitely gonna buy this movie just because I own part 1 and 2, so I'm definitely gonna buy it. Would you buy this movie?
I won't.
You won't?
Okay.
What if it comes in a box set and it's on sale for like
all 3? Yeah. If it comes in a box set, even a nice box set, I'd buy all 3.
Okay. All right.
But just like a regular DVD, I probably won't buy it unless my daughter wants it.
And what I did love too was out of this was that they used the same director and writer, which shows so much, guys. I mean, I wish when you first get a good franchise movie and you're just like, okay,
same cast too.
Yes, and in the same cast, you can use the same cast, same writers and directors. But in some cases, that doesn't happen because you want to do other stuff, other projects, and leave it in other people's hands.
Something happens with the actors.
But with this one, he was all like, "No, this is my baby, and I'm gonna take care of it." And I finished it off, and now it's an adult, and now I can let it go. You know what I mean? That's what I felt like in this. And yeah, so I will say this, guys. I will end this on a high note, guys. It's a compelling story filled with emotions, a heartwarming ending to a franchise. To a franchise. So I mean, I'm gonna leave that on quote unquote. Guys. So if you haven't already, guys, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up, guys, if you like our review. As always, I'm your host, Ryan D. You can call it Ryan680,
and I'm Juan at Cloud X Drive.
And this is Alamo City Movie Talk, guys. You know what to do. Hit that subscribe button. Just hit it.